Good evening to everyone on Method in Madness today. Today is a very, very special day because today is our 25th episode. We started this journey of Method in Madness 25 episodes ago. Our first episode was in April. And since then, we have curated 24 amazing conversations with people all over the world. It gives me immense pleasure to know that I have had all of you with me along the way. Many have been there with me. Just a sec. There seems to be a little problem, but we'll be back in a moment. So, seems there has been a little problem at my end. We are sorting this out. But nevertheless, thank you so much for being with us in this journey, being with us in this finding of new things. Because when I was working on and when I was looking at different topics to choose from, I really had to do a lot of research, and research taught me a lot. I'm sorry, I think there is a little issue coming up with, yeah, great, we are back. All right. Yes. So as I was saying that during the curation of all these episodes, I had to go through a lot of research myself. I got to talk with many people across, and once that happened, I learned a lot of new things, and I'm sure you learned it along with me as well. I feel privileged to be a part of this community of ours. And at Method in Madness, we have been trying to bring teachers, parents, adults who deal with children, caregivers who are always around children, understand children better, understand how to work with them, how to be with them, how to live a life with them. Today is again a very special topic that is very close to my heart, and I would really want to talk to you about the topic, which is entrepreneurship. The reason it's close to my heart is because I never thought I would become an entrepreneur, but I think fortunately I had those skills, and I developed those skills on my way along. And today I'm here to share my story with you and give you some idea of how you can look at entrepreneurship and creating the value of entrepreneurship in you. So before I go into the webinar with all the pointers and everything, there will not be any slideshow. There will be no PowerPoint presentation. Like every other episode, I'm going to talk to you and you're going to talk to me. The chat box is open. It's live. It's on my phone. I'm right now logging into the chat box, and I will be able to see whatever you want to write. And I'm going to talk for another 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. And after that, we will open this discussion with you on questions that you might have to ask. What's happening, Shashwat? Yeah. All right. Okay. So please join me in the conversation. Please join me in the conversation. There's a little technical difficulty, technical glitch, but that's all right because that keeps happening. And since we all are online nowadays, these are nothing very unusual anymore. So my first question to all of you who's watching, what do you think entrepreneurship is? Is it a skill? Is it something that you develop? Is it something you already have, you're born with? What do you think entrepreneurship is? And why are we talking about entrepreneurship today, especially in today's times? I would love to hear your answers on that, and let's begin. So the topic is entrepreneurship and how to become a teacher entrepreneur. If you're a teacher, and I'm sure all of us who are over here talking today are teachers or people who want to get into teaching. Let me tell you, when I started teaching, I never knew that I could be a teacher, but I always knew that I loved children, and I still love children, and I'm really passionate about being with them, not teaching them, but learning with them. And because I had that inherent quality in me to be with children, teaching became a more playful way of working rather than a stressful way. So we are going to talk about teaching. We are going to talk about how to look at entrepreneurship as a teacher, how to build your strength as a teacher entrepreneur. So why is entrepreneurship important? Surely it creates a better life for you. It leads to innovation, new thought practices, ideas. You also end up developing your community around you, because when you grow, you help others to grow along with you. And why do we do it so passionately? Because somewhere we feel it is doing good to the world outside, not just socially, not just emotionally, but economically also. We help the country grow economically when we become entrepreneurs. There's a huge unorganized sector of entrepreneurs and organized sectors of entrepreneurships. But what we are going to look at is the spirit of entrepreneurship. So what is entrepreneurship? I'm getting a few chats over here. It's all about being on our own. Excellent. It is to start a business of your own. It is to start a business which is profitable. It is to start an idea, is to give birth to an idea which is profitable. And is it to change the world? Yes. Somewhere it is. We are here to change the world. And it always begins with something very, very small. Today, I'm going to talk about 5 things about entrepreneurship and how to look at it or relook at it. Many of you are already individual teachers. You have your own organizations, perhaps. Many of you are school teachers who are in school. But when you have the spirit of entrepreneurship, you can be in a school, you can be working with an organization, you can be the leader of an organization. But if you have the spirit of entrepreneurship, you will always shine. And it is about the spirit that we're going to talk. How, as a school teacher, staying in the school, you can still be an entrepreneur. How, being in an organization, you can still be an entrepreneur. So it's all to do with primarily the mindset of an entrepreneur. I always, get this a lot from people, that teaching is a thankless job, which I completely disagree. Because when you teach, it teaches you. So I don't think it is thankless in any way. Nothing in the world is thankless, and that is where one should begin thinking. And that's where I began thinking, is teaching is not a thankless job at all. It is a wonderful, wonderful job, a very responsible job. But nevertheless, it gives you a kind of a world which is always changing along with the children. So teaching is a very rewarding job, and it depends on what reward you're looking at. I wouldn't say you should not look at monetary rewards. You definitely should look at monetary rewards, and I'm going to come to that a little bit later. But at the core of it, entrepreneurship is a mindset. It is a mindset to overcome challenges, to take up bigger challenges, to make the maximum from the minimum amount of resource that you have. So when I say that, it might sound very philosophical, it might sound very life coaching like, but that's true. You need to make the maximum out of minimum. And I can tell you this, I mean, when I developed this skill, I never had the skill of making the most out of the minimum, because thankfully, by God's grace, I have been fortunate with resources around me. But the first time I found that there was a lack of resources is when I started working with a theater company. I'm still a part of that theater company. And when I was working in the theater company, we saw how difficult it was to arrange for grants and for funds. And we never had funds, but we had to do the work. So we had very minimal resources, but we had to execute the plan. We had to do the play. And we made sure that we made the most of whatever limited resources we had. Like, we did not have great, a lot of money to stitch grand costumes. We didn't. We scrapped that. We used normal, regular costumes, but very artistic in nature. Then we did not have, great sets. So we simplified our sets. And what I realized as a theater practitioner is when you have very little resources, you can be more creative with the limited resources that you have. And I think that is the first step towards entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship helps you become more creative. Right now, in many schools across the world, entrepreneurship is being taught to children in middle school and high school. But this is something which I think should be taught to every individual on the planet. Because if you have entrepreneurship skills, then you can be always, in the space of creativity and innovation all the time. So yes, change your mindset, change it to taking up more challenge, change it to working with limited resources. I would love to hear stories from you where you have actually worked with limited resources. We teachers are always, we are after resource material. We always look out for resources. But all of the resources in the world is not enough for us. We still, need and create relevant resources for our classrooms. So I would love to hear what are the resources that you created or maybe utilized to make the most of it. If you have done so, you already are an entrepreneur. So you already have that spirit in you. Now, before we go ahead, let me ask you another question, and I would really like you to answer it quickly. Type it down on the comment section. Is that when I say entrepreneur, who comes to your mind? Give me a name. And I'll wait for your comments. Well, when somebody asked me many years ago, who is an entrepreneur for you, I said it was Narayan Murthy, because those days, people were talking about how one man, came up and he did this whole startup, and it became so big. Azim Premji, these are big names. J.R.D. Tata, yes, Ratan Tata. So Durgesh is saying Ratan Tata. Swarupa is also saying Ratan Tata. Anybody else who comes to your mind when we talk about entrepreneurs? Mark Zuckerberg, right? Mark Zuckerberg comes to our mind. Then Shiv Nadar comes. Fab India. How many of you know about Fab India? It's a great store. I buy a lot of amazing stuff from them. But whenever we think about entrepreneurship, we think about these big names. But we need not, yes, Ambani, big names. But we don't have to think about these big names when we are thinking entrepreneurship. Please remember, these big people started somewhere. started somewhere when they were very ordinary people with extraordinary ideas. Now, what is an extraordinary idea is something that we could have a webinar on later on. But any idea that you really feel passionate about and you really think will work or has worked for you over the years is an extraordinary idea. An idea, friends, is never original. Please remember that. My teacher from advertising I had my initial years in advertising, so very few years, 2-3 years in advertising, and he told me that no idea is original. Even Mozart said that none of my compositions are original. So if you have an idea, which could be an inspired idea or a modified idea of somebody else's, and if you think that is a great idea and you should go ahead with it, please remember, please know that that is an extraordinary idea. Hi, Mitali. Hi, everybody. Those who are joining us right now. Yes, I think Lynn Gabriel has joined us from Crossroads, and she's saying, my mom is an entrepreneur. She made a school in a very small town in Kerala. And this is fantastic. So she is an entrepreneur. Anybody who starts something which he or she really believes in is an entrepreneur. But the point is that we have to start. Okay. We will have to start somewhere. So start. That's the second point. Start. Give it a start. Small, very small, minuscule, with somebody, third party somebody, but start. I would love to know if any one of you have ever had this thought of starting something on your own and never got the courage to do that, or never thought you were ready to do that. Because I kept getting this feeling when I was talking about my theater group. So I was 23 when I started doing theater, and I was 25 when I started teaching. I'm pretty old. I don't look my age, but yes, it's been many years that I've been doing theater and I've been teaching also. But let me tell you how I started. I was sitting in my studio and I was reading a newspaper or something, or a book, I don't remember. And a mother comes up to me and she says that I have a 13-year-old daughter and I want her to learn to do theater, to do theater. So I was like, okay, but we don't teach children, you know. We are an adult theater group and only 18 plus can join us. She said, I don't know, Vaishali, I've heard about you from somewhere, and I want you to keep this girl with you. So I was like, I don't know what to do with her. What should I do? I'm like, you do anything, but do theater with her. I was like, okay. So I said that, okay, but I need another person. I can't do theater with just one person. So she said, okay, I'll arrange for her friend and maybe he will join. And my first 2 students happened. I started very small, very small. And you will laugh at me if you know where I started my class. I'll come to that later, but it has been an amazing journey. And I took that plunge that day. That mother definitely motivated me by telling me that she had heard of me from somewhere, which gave me a lot of confidence to start my work, my journey as a teacher. Till that, I was not a teacher. I never had taught any child. I just loved being with children. That's it. And the only child I had taught till then was my sister. So I did everything that I did with my sister, and that I had learned initially in my theater years when I was growing up in college and in school, in high school. So I just copied what my teachers had taught me to begin with. And I started doing my work with the children, with those 2 children I started my teaching career with. And slowly I built on it and I improvised, and new ideas came into being, and old ideas kind of got out of my life, and they were more modified, and it was a thrilling journey. I'll talk more about that. But before that, I would like to really know if there is any idea that any one of you is thinking about to start your journey as an entrepreneur. Please share. Please share. So start. Starting is very important. No matter where, what time, there is no right time to start. Every time is the right time. Every day is the right day. And drama taught me that, to think everything in a positive way. And I think theater has played a huge, huge role in my life to becoming the kind of person I am, to instilling the entrepreneurship skills in me, because I worked a lot in the theater. Then the third point that I would talk about is investment. All of you, when I talk about investment, what comes to your mind? Please write down quickly. I'm waiting for your chats. What comes to your mind when I say the word investment? Okay, Saida is saying counseling students. She wants to start counseling students. That's great. That's great. Yes. So I'm waiting, because if I don't get your answers, I won't be able to start off with the investment topic. The investment is very, very important. So we have covered mindset. All right. How to change your mindset. How to become more open to your own new ideas. The second one that we spoke about was to start. Money and services that can be provided. Thank you, Saida. Time investments. Thank you. Time. Thank you. Yes, Lynn is saying time. I understand where that is coming from, Lynn. But let me tell you, there are 3 kinds of investments that you make. In fact, there are 4, but I'll talk about 3, and I'll talk about the 4th one a little later. The first investment that you make that comes to your mind when you think about investment is money, isn't it? Money. It always comes to your mind. So money is one way of investing. The second way of investing is time, which many of you have mentioned already. And the third is emotional investment. So we're going to look at it one by one. So when we are looking at money investment, where are you investing the money? Where do you invest the money is a very, very big question. Because most of us teachers, when we plan to start something, or when we are planning to bring a new idea into our system, like in a school, the first thing that comes to our mind is the budget that we have for us. Fine, we have a budget. We have a very, very shoestring budget. But what are we going to invest that money on? Any ideas, guys? Anybody? What I did was, and I still do that, is I invest in my own training. I have trained myself, and I keep training myself. Even now, I just finished a training session, and I don't leave any chance to get trained. Training is the biggest investment that a teacher or any entrepreneur should make or can make in his journey. Because the more trained you are, the more abreast you are with the advanced technologies, the advanced methods, the new age thinking, the new researches. Books. Second biggest investment is books. Please buy books. There are so many books, and yes, the books are very costly. I know that. But please buy books, and books that will help you, not the self-help books that will train you. Because you can read self-help books, you can read books on entrepreneurship for lifelong. But books that are talking very directly, very rationally about your profession is something that you need to buy and read and train. When I started training myself, I didn't say, I have to become a teacher, so I'll go for a teacher certificate. I do not have a teaching qualification. And I am telling this to you. This is on YouTube live. It will go live. I do not hold a teaching qualification till date. But what I do hold are various experiences that I've subjected myself to since from the day I thought that, maybe I should take up teaching as one of my professions. Since the day I decided on doing that, I just went and I started training myself. I trained myself in vocals. I'm learning Western vocals right now because that's what, as a teacher, you need. And since I'm teaching drama, it is very important for me to have a very healthy vocal life. And for that, I have to train myself. So I train myself in nutrition. I trained myself in opera singing. I'm training myself in Hindustani classical singing, Western classical singing. I've trained myself in Kathak. I've trained myself in small little things, many things. Some to do with directly my profession, that is teaching, and some which are peripheral, peripheral to my main profession. For instance, painting. Painting is something which I still have to train myself into, but that is something which I have always enjoyed. So anywhere, I get an opportunity to take a brush and start painting, I do that. Craft work, very, very important. Origami, I love origami, but I've never trained myself into origami. But whenever I look at a YouTube DIY, I look at an origami video and try to learn. It's very important for all teachers over here, whoever is here, whatever subject you're teaching, be it mathematics, be it science, be it history, be it English, be it drama. It is very important to train yourself in the latest methods, latest pedagogical, researches that have been made, that have been, well recognized, so that you are at par with anybody on the planet. And in today's times, where we are sitting in the, at our homes and we are all connected digitally, it's far more easier to update yourself, upgrade yourself than it had been, before. We never thought about it. Please go and search for courses. There are amazing courses on coursera.org, MOOC. There are lots of MOOCs which you can go on. Stanford and Harvard, they keep offering these free courses. Please go take them. They're free. If you don't have money, go for free trainings, free webinars, free seminars, free workshops. Go do it. And then when you have a little money, first invest in your training, because you need the training to create that great product. It's very important to create a brilliant product. And what is your product? The product is your curriculum. The product is your content that you are going to, put in the market, which you want people to take. How strong is that? You can invest on a great classroom or a building, on infrastructure. But if you have lousy content, lousy curriculum, lousy product, it is not going to work. Because in entrepreneurship, and especially for individuals like you and me who are planning to start something of our own, the best thing is, the best way to advertise is through word of mouth. And I'll come to advertising later on. I'll give you a perspective on that as well. So money, please invest money on books and training. Train yourself. It can lead you to, become the best in your field. And you will not know it. It will slowly, the more training you take, the more you try to understand things around you. Do not take a training just for the sake of imparting that training to somebody. I train ABC and I impart ABC. No, I train ABC. I train BCD. I train EFG, and I give XYZ. All right. So keep training yourself. Rucha Mehta is saying, Rucha, thank you for that comment. Entrepreneurship is the ability to convert your passion to a purpose and also to make it profitable for all stakeholders in various ways. Yes, you have to make your organization or your idea profitable. Very, very important to make it profitable. But how will it become profitable? We'll come to that. That's the most important thing, how to make it profitable. And I'll come to that. But before that, let's talk about time investment. Now, if you don't have money, you have the time. So invest time. All right. Invest time, not just in training, but invest time in people. Okay. Talk to people. Understand what they want. Talk to children. Try to understand what they're looking at. What encourages them, what inspires them in a particular subject. Talk to them and see whether the methods that are being used through generations are working for them or not. If not, why? Talk, and learn. It is very important to talk to people, invest time in reaching out to people and talking to them and understanding where they're coming from. Because one of the most important pillars of entrepreneurship is human relationship. And it is very important to have a human-to-human talk rather than, have an expert-to-human talk or expert to somebody who does not know talk. No. For once, get out of this whole mode of I am this or I am that and talk heart to a person and talk on the point of what is working and what is not working. Spend time there. Spend time watching documentaries. Spend time going to libraries and reading books. Spend time listening to music. I think that is also very, very critically important for any teacher or counselor or anybody to have a relationship with music. So, and arts. Make sure that you invest enough time into the arts and also into training yourself, also into talking to people and making yourself heard. The third and most important investment is emotional investment. Now, when you're investing your time in talking about your idea to people around you, what you're doing, you're enabling them to invest in your project, in your idea emotionally. They will join you emotionally. Don't be scared. Go out, talk to people whom you trust. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. You talk to the children in your neighborhood, talk to the children in your school, talk to your colleagues, and don't be afraid of your idea being stolen. Please remember, no idea is original. So don't worry. People keep asking me, Vaishali, why do you, I have a habit. I learn something and then I apply it, and then whatever I understand from that application, I immediately teach my teachers who work with me. So I do that. I keep, creating a vacuum so that I can learn more. And I keep doing that. The reason being, when you are sharing your idea, maybe somebody copies it, but they can just copy a part of your idea because your idea is in your mind and nobody is capable, not nobody, most of them are incapable of copying your mind. Copy the way your mind works. It is your mind. It is unique. There is no other mind like yours in the world. So I think because nobody can copy the way you think, nobody can ever copy your idea. So talk about your idea. And more than your idea, it is the execution. If 100 people are talking about an idea that looks similar to yours, hardly 5 of them will actually go and execute it. All right. And maybe 1 or 2 of them stay with it for long. So when I talk about investing time, there's one thing that I missed out. That is, don't give up. Because as an entrepreneur, you should have the restart button working all the time. Because if the first idea does not work out, restart. Second idea does not work out, restart. I have worked on 3 ideas, and this is my 4th idea that I'm working on right now. Joy of Drama is my 4th idea that we are all working out right now. But we have learned a lot from the earlier 3 ideas that worked for some time and then didn't. There was a lot of heartbreak. There was a lot of sadness. But then we overcame that because we had the restart button there right in front of us, glowing, big green light. So we would press restart and start afresh again. So when I say investing time, I'm also saying hang on. Hang on. If you believe in your idea, and if it is not working one way, in a way, try seeing if it works in any other way. All right? And try and be flexible. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you will need to work with people. So the fourth most important investment is investing in people. Train yourself. And then if you feel that you are ready to bring more on board, train them, invest in them. Give them the same quality of training that you have got yourself. Train them with utmost sincerity and utmost passion, not thinking of whether they are going to leave you or stay with you. People leave, people come, people go. You do not have any control on that. But you always have the control on your product quality. And if you don't train your subordinates well, your product quality will deteriorate. So it's very, very important that you maintain that. And therefore, invest in people. Invest in people. Train them. So that's about it. Now, the fourth point that I would like to talk about is innovation. Again, when I talk about innovators, who comes to your mind? Friends, who do you think is a great innovator? The first person that comes to my mind is Graham Bell. Yeah. And then we have other innovators like Apple, what's his name? Steve Jobs. Then we have Microsoft, Bill Gates. We have so many innovators, again, big names. Same thing, mindset. What is innovation? Can anybody give me a very small equation? I have an equation, which I will share with you, which will really make it very simple and clear for you. But I'm just asking a very random question. What do you think innovation is? What is innovation? So I'm getting a lot of nice comments over here. Invest in ourselves first and then service to be provided. Yes, Saida, you're absolutely right. Reshma has written about emotional investment. So yes, and pooling resources, very good. Bhavna is talking about resources, investing in resources, money, energy, and time. Excellent. I'm waiting for some more. Tesla. Yes, how could I forget Elon Musk? Absolutely. Tesla. Paytm, right? Razorpay. WhatsApp. What are these things? Mobile phone is an innovation, isn't it? So what is innovation? Mitali is saying digging out thoughts to materialize. Saida is saying an idea which was trusted and never given up is innovation. Well, yes, all of these things are right. Vishaka is saying original idea to help the society. Nikola Tesla was also an innovator. We all can be innovators. And a simple formula for innovation is take a known thing, add an unknown thing to it, and there you go, you have innovation. Okay? So known plus unknown is innovation. For instance, this phone. Why was phone used? What was a telephone? A telephone was used to talk, right? To converse, to have a conversation over a distance. That was known, right? And what was unknown about telephone and completely detached from telephone? Songs. Songs and telephone? Really? Well, songs and telephone together It is innovation. We have so many music apps right now, right? iPod was an innovation, right? Walkman was an innovation. Why can't a person walk and listen to the music at the same time? So take a known fact and add an unknown fact to it, and you get innovation. So known plus unknown is innovation. If you're a teacher, you know how to teach English, right? You're an English teacher. You know it, that this is how language should be taught. Why don't I add something which is completely different from language or teaching language? What about bringing in a board game into it? Bringing a board game into language learning becomes innovation. And at Joy of Drama, we are innovating every day. We have actually created a program which is game-based, completely game-based, play-based, game-based, to teach English language. And I don't know whether anybody has done it or not, but I feel this is something which works. And I have tried this on many students with our many adults. I've played games, I've played board games with them based on English language, and it works. So test, keep testing. That's another thing that you should keep in mind. Innovation needs testing also. You innovate and then you test, right? Now we come to the fifth point. And the fifth point is what not to think about. So when you are going on your path, on your journey as an entrepreneur, you should not think about certain things. There are 3 things that you should not think about when you're starting out. The first thing that you should not think about is marketing and advertising. Yes, I might sound very crazy, I might sound very weird, but you do not have to invest any kind of money or time into advertising and marketing. The best advertising in the field of education is word of mouth. That's why I was emphasizing on making your product extremely powerful. Test it rigorously. Keep going to your friends, ask for feedback, for genuine feedback. Go to people who are not going to just pat on your back and say, wow, very good work. No. I'll tell you a little incident. In our theater group, we are not allowed to clap during rehearsals. So when I came in for the first time and we were performing, and we were just rehearsing, not performing, and I felt that I did a great job, but nobody clapped. I was used to a lot of clapping back then, in college and in school, where we would just give a nice, stylish dialogue and everybody would clap. But when I started doing professional theater, there was no clap. And I was wondering what happened. I mean, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. I didn't do anything wrong. When you clap, you draw a line saying that, yeah, okay, tick mark, you're done, you're good, you're good. So you chop the room, you cut the room, you stop the room of improvement. So I learned that was a big lesson for me. I practice it with my older students, even with the younger students. We do not clap unnecessarily. We do not clap on every cute or a good thing that has happened in class. We do not. And that has helped. So clapping and appreciation and everything will come only when you are genuine to your product. You have created a very good product, and you've made friends who do not just, unnecessarily come and say good things, say sweet things about you, because it's just nice to say good things to people. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. Do not think about marketing and advertising. Make a brilliant product. Then things like people won't pay, for this kind of work. If I go to my school authorities and I have this amazing idea for this, annual day production, or I have this amazing assembly idea, but people won't pay. You know what? You don't have to have a big idea. You can have a small idea, Okay. You can have a small execution plan. Start very small again. And once you get that one little idea approved, you start getting more smaller ideas approved. And then people will understand your pattern, they'll understand your flow, and probably they will start investing emotionally first. And perhaps later in the stage, they will monetarily invest as well. So please keep your product very, very slick and good. The third thing that you should not think about when you're starting off is, how will I expand my business? No need to think about that at the in the get-go, because many of us, we think that, okay, let's take a franchisee. Franchising needs a lot of investment. You need to, have a premises. You have to have infrastructure. You have to again have lots of money to pay a license for the license. But I feel when you have an original idea, it's better to go slow. People keep saying this, but I understood it when I actually started doing my work. Because the slower you are in your process, the better it is for you. Because slowly you understand, and there's no shortcut, as all of us know over here. There is no scope for shortcut in entrepreneurship. It's a very demanding, patience demanding field or line that you will take. But know that when the time is right, your business will expand. And till that time, you have to keep training yourself, keep upgrading yourself, keep making yourself come up to a point where you feel that, yes, this is what I need to expand, and then wait for that expansion to happen. So I think that is something that is very, very important. Do not think about how your business will expand or how will I market. I don't have enough money for advertising. Do not advertise. Your parents will advertise for you, right? So invest time in talking to your children's parents. That's very, very important. All right. So with that, we come to a close. Advertising can happen later. Whenever you are, somebody's just saying that on my WhatsApp, that advertising can happen later. Of course, advertising can happen later when you have enough money to then, put into advertising. It can happen. And there are many ways of advertising. It is not just, print or, give a Google ad or something. There are so many ways of advertising. So yes, I try to fit in everything that I could in the short period of time. I would love to hear you right now. And please ask your questions. I'm really excited to take your questions right now. When I was talking about share your idea, please share your idea. And if you have nobody you can immediately trust, around you with your idea, we are there. You can share it with me. You can share it with all of us over here, because we can probably resonate with what you're thinking and help you in some way. So let the questions come, please. Okay, I'm going to read out some of the comments till you are framing your questions. Saida Hajira is saying, do not overthink. Reshma Samnani is saying, I play tic-tac-toe, vocab bingo, snakes and ladders. See, that's innovation. That's innovation. Great, Reshma. That's great work. Equipping yourself. Rekha is talking about equipping yourself. Jyoti Singh is saying time and mind. Investment of time and mind. Nivedita is saying creating new demands is innovation. How do you create new demands? You have to talk to people. You have to really objectively look at things around you, not to please anybody. I think I didn't talk about this, but I will probably in some other time. Saida is asking a question. I'm very passionate about career counseling. Can you give some insights about how to start up? Uh, all right, Saida. I would love to know where you are from, Saida. But career counseling is a very good field to go into. But before you go into career counseling, please do a check first of whether you have off the cuff done career counseling for people or not. I'm sure you have. And because you have done it and because you feel that it has been effective, you're talking about taking this up professionally. When you want to start career counseling, it is very important that you bring back those people who have benefited from your advice, from your suggestions. And you go back to them and you ask them first. The first thing you have to go and take a feedback from them, that what is it that really stuck with them about you when you were advising them. Was it your openness? Was it something, your acceptance? Was it the way you spoke? Was it your diligence? Was it your assertiveness? What was it about you that really made that difference in their lives? The first thing is that. So the first startup activity that you need to do is go back to those people who have benefited from your advice. Yes, Bangalore. Yeah, you're from Bangalore, India. Okay. Saida is from Bangalore. So Saida, yes, the first thing you should do is go back to the people who have benefited from your suggestions. Go talk to them. Try and understand. Don't be too direct, probably, perhaps with your question. That what made you take up this? Was it something about me? No. Ask an indirect question and find out what it is about you that really worked for them, about your suggestion that really worked with them. After that, it is very important that you read up a lot on counseling before going into career counseling. What is counseling? What is the ethos of counseling? The ethics of counseling. What is counseling? Because what happens as counselors, we start giving solutions. Is it really about solutions, or is it about giving more options and helping the child choose? So that is a big question that you should ask yourself. What is counseling? So read up on counseling, listen to TED Talks about counseling, listen to TED Talks by counselors. And then there is this instinct in you, right, which tells you that, yes, I'm right. Try to hone that instinct. And for that, you have to practice. So just practice on, people, start helping them randomly, start giving, pro bono services to people and then start charging slowly. Elizabeth is asking, I hope that helps you, Saida. Elizabeth Varghese, how can we balance a full-time teaching job along with the passion that we really want to do and teach others too? Again, start very small. Right now, we are sitting in the age of technology. Get yourselves upgraded into technology. Don't say that I'm technologically challenged. I don't understand WhatsApp. I don't understand YouTube. I do not understand Zoom. I cannot do this. Stop saying that. It is very important to upgrade yourself, understand technology, because that's the way. You have to work with technology. Do that first. There are short videos that you can create every day. Create a video, okay? A 1-minute video or a 2-minute video about something that you want to teach, and start sending it to people you know. There are so many social networking sites. Start a channel, just like YouTube channel that we have over here. Ask your friends to subscribe. Ask your friends to share. So raise friends. Guys, it's time to raise friends and not funds. So start raising friends around you. You tell us, I have got this little video. Please, share it with your friends. I'll be more than happy to do that. So please share. The more you share your ideas, the better it becomes for you. Reshma is actually suggesting you can freelance, approach some classes that are already running and offer your services. Yes, you can. Try from there. Start somewhere. Thanks, Reshma, for being such an active participant in this. Neela Rani is asking, as I'm already into helping students in strategic learning related to academic skills, I'm interested in going for the skills programs for children. How to go about that? Okay, so you're already into strategic learning, right? Now, if you have to think whether you want to start your own or you want to get some experience by working with somebody for some time. I would suggest that you work with somebody for some time, understand how this works, how your learning from them can help you. I can give you an example. I am still with Trinity College London as their consultant. I was their first academic consultant for drama and performance. In 2013, I joined them. And I worked with them for 4 years. And then I came out of their, the regular employment, and I'm a consultant with them right now. But what I did is Trinity College London syllabus for English and for drama, for communication skills is brilliant. It is such an open syllabus that if you are really a teacher who really wants to make that difference, you can take that and mold it into a product. That's what I did. And I'll be very honest with you. Trinity College London syllabus, I knew it at the back of my hand. I wanted to teach life skills as well. And that's what I do at Joy of Drama. We teach life skills. And what I did is I took Trinity College London syllabus. I saw what the content was there. I matched it to my content, what I had created. I married both of them. And now I have an international certification system as well as my internal certification system. So I developed them alongside. So one was completely known, which was Trinity, and one was unknown, which was life skills. And I was just, toying with various ideas of imparting life skills. And I married both of them. And I have a great product. So I think, Neela, you should start looking at existing syllabi or existing curriculums which talk about skill development, and then marry it with your thoughts. So that's what I can tell you. Children with special needs, go spend time with them. That's where you should start. I don't know where you are from, Swarupa. I was working in Kerala. We have some centers in Kerala which are right now not open, but they will be open the moment lockdown ends and everybody is safe to go in. So there is a beautiful school called Mridula Sparsham in Kochi. And I went there. There are all sorts of special needs children over there. There were autistic children, hearing impaired, deaf, mute. Then we had cerebral palsy. They also had schizophrenic students over there who were suffering, borderline schizophrenia. So there were many, many students with special needs and with psychological needs also. But I did not have a plan. I wanted to work with them, so I spent 1 year with them. I just used to go and to play with them, because all you can do is play with them. Don't think, I have to get that degree and this degree and that degree to work with special needs. If I'm not a trained special needs teacher, I won't be able to do it. You can keep taking your degrees and your certificates and your diplomas later on. But the first thing you need to do is go to a school, tell them that I want to work with your children. Please let me in. Do free work. I did a lot of free work because when you're trying to work with special children, just like the other children, special children are also very different from one another. So there is no one way to look at special needs children. So I would suggest, Swarupa, go start working. Force yourself. Go tell, I have to work. You have to give me that opportunity and start working. Neela is, Neela. I think Neela, you can contact Swarupa, and Swarupa and Neela, you can have a chat. See, this is how community builds. I'm so happy for this, conversation that's happening over here. Jyoti is saying innovation is creative plus changes. Yes. Can we do online association with various trainers across the globe? Thank you so much for the suggestion. Okay. Oh, yeah. You can. You can look at various associations. In fact, if you're on Facebook, there are lots of groups on Facebook, which are teaching groups, which are educators groups, groups for special needs, for general education. Please join them. Ask your questions there. There's a huge group on just homeschooling. I've joined them. I'm a part of one of those groups. And it's fantastic because you get so many new ideas from there, which I can maybe tweak and use when I'm working with, a new set of children who are from a homeschool background. So I think because it is, everything is online right now, everybody is reachable. Don't think twice that, should I do it? Should I not? If it is free, do it. Do it. What will happen? You will just end up maybe investing time in a wrong webinar, but I don't think anything is wrong. When you invest, with the right intent, if you have the right intent, any kind of investment into any kind of training works out for you. I'm doing Kalaripetu, and it is working out for me. I'm more agile as a teacher. I have been teaching since morning, 10 o'clock. And I'm still talking to you. And I look fresh, don't I? So it is basically... all right, sorry. I just... Reshma is asking, I would like to learn more about Trinity College prospects. I'm an English teacher for IBDP. Of course, Reshma, please write into us. I'll be very, very happy to help you with that. My email ID is... I think I can just flash it on the screen, then it will be very easy for all of you to write back. If we can have our email ID on the screen, please. But thank you so much for your lovely questions. It's very good to be associated with this community, actually, because at the end of the day, we are all here for the betterment of people around us, and people which include not just children but everybody. Yeah, Swarupa, you're here. You're joining us from Andhra Pradesh. Great. So Swarupa, I think Neela and you can get in touch. Neela, maybe you can share your some kind of a contact with Swarupa. I don't know how will you do that, but maybe you can find each other on Facebook. But please share your ideas. Share your ideas with people. We are always there to help. All of us are here to help each other, and I'm very positive, and I'm very enthusiastic and encouraged about this whole idea of coming together and sharing our ideas about becoming an independent practitioner in whichever field you are in. So with that, I think we have to come to an end of our session today. I hope you liked it. I hope this gave you a little bit of an insight into how one can approach entrepreneurship. I have approached entrepreneurship, and I'm still approaching it this way. And today was a special episode. I really wanted to share my story with all of you. I hope you enjoyed the session. And if you have any query, anything that you would like to ask me, please send me a mail. You can log on to our website. It's joyofdrama.com. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll get notifications every time we have a new video or a new webinar. Thank you, Saida, for those lovely words. Whispering Nature is also thanking. Thank you so much. Reshma, Swarupa, Mitali, I really from my heart, I wish that all our dreams with respect to our work and our passion comes true. Because when we dream, when we are passionate, it always comes from necessity. And because you feel the need. And because you feel the need, it is important. It does not matter who you are, where you're from. What is important is that you feel the need. And the day you feel the need, it is an important thing. Thank you so much. Have a great night. Good night, everybody. And see you next week with a guest. Bye.